Hi everybody, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, hi, my name is Cal, I'm an artist, and on this channel I try or attempt to showcase my process and journey as I try to build my little online art shop, Saaguco, from the ground up. So if you're interested in things like that, then stay tuned. So in this video, I'm mostly going to be talking about how I built my website using Shopify. And I just like to showcase kind of like my starting process or my starting point and how I got to the final product, some of the pitfalls I faced, and also why I decided to go with Shopify over Etsy. So stay tuned for that. But as of recording this video, the website is finally built, it's finally live. So if you'd like to check it out and see things for yourself, you can go to Saaguco.store. Or if you're interested in just adding a few unique and cutesy stickers to your sticker collection, just to personalize some of your things, you can also check out my website for that as well. Okay, so without yammering too long, I feel like I do have the tendency to yammer. Let's get into it. So first things first, I want to talk about Shopify versus Etsy, why I chose one over the other. So for those of you who probably don't know, Etsy is just an online marketplace that a lot of artists use to sell their work, while Shopify is an e-commerce template website builder. So starting off with Etsy, I ultimately decided against it because of some of the testimonials that I've been seeing online regarding Etsy and their practices lately. So some of the things I'm seeing is how Etsy's fees are starting to get higher each year. The platform, unfortunately, is cluttered with a lot of AI-generated content. I've heard horror stories of artists having their money withheld from them and their stores being shut down. And what can make matters worse is artists won't even get a coherent or clear-cut reason as to why their shop was shut down. And on top of that, I've heard the customer service is not the most useful on the platform. So that was kind of enough for me to sway my decision more into Shopify. I've heard more positive things about Shopify. I love the idea of customizing the entire website. With Etsy, you're kind of at the mercy of their website and how it's already built. There's not a lot of customization behind it, but with Shopify, you really can cater it to your own personal style. But I will say the benefits of Etsy is it is very beginner friendly. They kind of do all the heavy lifting for you, including pushing traffic to your personal store. Even though you are on a platform competing with other artists, having your store within a marketplace just heightens your chances of customers coming across your page. Whereas unlike Etsy, with Shopify, you do have to drive that own traffic with your own marketing and advertising. Another thing to be aware of if you decide to also go with Shopify is that you do pay a fixed rate or subscription. So I paid the $39 monthly subscription for the basic plan because I wanted to go month to month instead of paying like the yearly fee, or not the yearly fee, but just paying that lump sum for the year. I prefer just month to month. So if you decide to go with the annual rate, it's $29 a month. You just have to make that big upfront purchase, or you could do the month-to-month subscription plan, which is what I do, for $39 a month. So that can turn people off, but I kind of just chalked it up as like, oh, whatever I make for the business, that money just goes back into some of the things that I need to run the business, like maintaining the website. So the next thing I want to talk about is planning. So I actually didn't plan too much for the website. All I really did was a simple wireframe sketch on how I wanted the layout to be. And I was actually really excited for the hero image. So I jotted down these little thumbnails on what the hero image could potentially be. For example, I thought I was going to go with this hero image right here, but I didn't really like the final result, so I kind of moved on. But no matter how big or small the planning phase is, you definitely just want to start off by jotting ideas just to give yourself a general sense of what you want things to look like. Planning definitely helped me out because just thinking about the website was very overwhelming for me because I knew I wanted to be a little extra. I just didn't know how to go about it. But one thing that definitely helps in the planning phase is just gathering references. For example, I really admire the work behind Love Soup. I really enjoy her little character, Pepper, and I kind of like the simplistic layout of her, I think she uses Shopify as well, of her website. So I kind of used that as a template or foundation of my own on how I wanted things to look like. I also managed to kind of gloss over Sanrio's website as well. Sanrio kind of being another big influence on my style and my characters. So I kind of just wanted to see how they do things on their page and take inspiration from that. They even have a little characters page, which was great because I definitely wanted to include a characters page on my website. Okay, so next phase we have in this whole website builder project is the execution phase. And it's funny, as I'm saying this out loud, so as of recording, I finally finished taking my project management exam. Not a fun class. I don't think I want to be a project manager, but it's just kind of funny how as I'm making this video, I'm like, first is the planning stage, then it's the execution stage. I'm like, wait a minute. Am I actually regurgitating content that I learned from this course and applying it to real life circumstances? If so, that's kind of cool, I guess. But yeah, so we enter into the execution phase, finally getting those ideas off of paper and onto the screen, the computer screen. In this case, the Shopify interface. This phase of the project was definitely the most challenging for me just because I feel like there is a learning curve with Shopify. And on top of that, I was feeling just a tad bit overwhelmed. One thing I will say is if you are feeling overwhelmed with a big project like building a website is to just take it one chunk at a time. So in order to get all of this done, I kind of just broke up my tasks into specific days. So for example, I told myself, okay, the goal is to just get the homepage done today. And so I would spend all day just kind of planning and working out the homepage. And then once I had my homepage together, okay, today we work on getting the products page together. And then essentially I kind of just took it like one page at a time. So today I work on the FAQ page. And then another day I would work on the about page and then the characters page. So just kind of taking things one page at a time really helped make the project not seem as big and scary as I was making it to be in my head. Okay, it is 1:42 in the morning and I finally finished the frequently asked questions page. So that's nice and out of the way, hopefully. I'm clear and concise. If anybody has any questions on what's going on with their order or shipment details. And let's see, so I have FAQ done. The contact page is pretty straightforward, but I'd like to do like illustrations too. I kind of want to play around with these a bit, while I have time, if I have time. So I want the contact page to be a little bit more interesting. As mentioned before, I think this is one of the things that really stand out about Shopify over Etsy. And again, that's just being able to customize your website to however way you'd like to present it. And for me, I just wanted to include a bunch of little illustrations on specific pages like my FAQ page and even like my password protected page. I just thought these were a fun way to kind of add more personality to my website. And that's just something that you wouldn't be able to do with Etsy. Building this website with Shopify was not the biggest headache that I thought I was going to experience, but I definitely would have to say that trying to come up with little illustrations to personalize it more was definitely the most fun about building it. Okay, here's the first product up. Wow, this has been it's been a lot, but I think this is good because I now have an idea how to navigate, maneuver my way through the setup. I still have a long way to go, but it's 4:14 in the morning. I'm gonna pick this up tomorrow, and then my goal, I'm going out of town soon, so my goal would be to finish this before I go out of town, but I don't think that's gonna happen. And indeed, it did not happen. I was forced to transition into the next phase of the project, which is So at some point the building did need to stop because I had a big family reunion planned this year in Anguilla. But I wasn't complaining because this trip was long overdue. I think the last time I was here, I was in my early 20s, so it's been quite a minute, but it was really great to see my grandpa. He's getting older. It was great to see family that I hadn't seen in years and meet new family members and just spend time with my parents and nephew. I'm not going to complain. It was a great time, but it's safe to say that I really didn't have a lot of time to dedicate to the business. But that's not necessarily a bad thing because sometimes you do need to step away from things. You do need to rest. And even if I didn't have this big family trip planned, I still would have taken time to kind of step away and recharge my brain so I can come back swinging. Okay, hi everybody. I'm back from my vacation. I just came back from Anguilla after 2 days of traveling because I had an overnight layover. And I finally made it back to my home. And I am pretty exhausted and I know I still have like a lot of work to do. I tried to do a little bit of work. Oh, hi honey. The kitty cat has entered the chat. Hi baby. I came back and somebody was using my rocking chair. Was it you? It was probably you, wasn't it? I know it was you. Don't give me that look. You have guilty written all over that cute face. Okay, so even though we took a break and I had entered the R&R phase, once the R&R phase is over, this is actually not part of the project management life cycle, by the way, I returned back to trying to rebuild the website and just finalizing a couple of things before I had approached my scheduled launch date, which was August 23rd. So learning Shopify was already a challenge for me, but one thing I ran into that bothered me the most was just how my homepage looked. I was not crazy about the hero image, so it was time for me to essentially go back to the drawing board. So I just had this idea in my head of the girls kind of like in this vehicle, kind of like almost like they're driving to the shop opening, and then to the left of the image was just going to be some big like text announcing the shop and then like a CTA button. I don't know if you can tell, but I really had a fun time making this idea come to life, and you can probably already see the Akira Toriyama influences with how I drew the vehicle and everything, and just kind of like packing my characters into it like a sardine. But yeah, I was really happy with like the final outcome, but I still ran into some issues. Okay, so I went ahead and got rid of the photography that I had. And I wanted something like this where it's an illustration, and I know it doesn't show off the product, but I feel like I want it to show off like the energy that I'm trying to give. So I guess I'm more focused on brand than product right now. But I guess I wanted to create something that would entice people. Just something fun. Okay, so we are doing a new strategy here. So let me show you the hurdle I've been running into. I just have to press the, actually we can just do this. Okay, so this still looks bad. All right, so this looks okay, but it is not responsive at all. So when I go to the, when I click here on the mobile, it makes it for mobile view and everything looks awful, as you can see. So I have to go back to the drawing board. So what I'm gonna do instead, we're gonna go ahead and delete this block, move section. We are going to add a new section, add section, and this time we're going to do image with text. And so I've gone ahead and adjusted that image because I'm sorry, but I really want to use that image. It's just the vision that I have in my head. Unfortunately, I don't think I'll be able to make it come true right now. Not saying it's not possible, but I also just don't have a understanding of like CSS, because I know you can tweak the CSS to kind of get things or try to manipulate elements the way that you want, but I don't have the time to learn that right now. So I'm just gonna try to work with these templates as best as I can. So let's go ahead and add my rendition. So I just went ahead, instead of doing horizontal, I just went ahead and made the image more square so the text won't overlay on it anymore. Open. Have no one. Okay, so that looks better. So then I'm just gonna have my opening. It's just gonna say, what is it gonna say? Oh my gosh, I've been working on this so long, I don't even know what it's gonna say. Okay, don't worry, I did indeed figure out what I needed to say. But yeah, once I returned back from vacation, I still had a couple of tweaks that I needed to make and modify, and also figure out back-end details, or just double check back-end details, such as shipment. Again, going over product descriptions, making sure those were accurate, and just things like that. But it finally led up to launch day, and yeah, I was finally ready to release the website. You all seemed really excited about it. And overall, I was pretty pleased with the outcome. Working on it did kind of take me back to my college years, where I was staying up at all hours of the night, trying to put together a portfolio that we would present out into the world as we looked for jobs after graduation. But I feel like this experience is better because this was more my choice. This was more personal to me. Whereas when I was in college, it was something I had to do. At least at the time, that's what it felt like. So I would say this is definitely a better experience, a better project website building experience. But yeah, here we are at the final product, and I gotta say, even though I still see a lot of room for improvement, I am genuinely pleased with how this turned out, especially it being my first time using Shopify. It was fun trying to come up with different ways to showcase some of my products on the front page while still keeping the layout relatively simple. And there's some things that I probably could adjust and change in the future, such as maybe tone down the reddish, pinkish salmon color, and figure out some spacing issues happening on the hero image. But overall, I'm quite pleased and kind of proud of how I took on such a large assignment and executed it. And I reached my deadline, so that's always something to be excited about. And this characters page probably wasn't super important. Like, the most important thing is the product, right? And that your customers are able to have a pretty pleasant experience purchasing your products. But this was just so much fun, and I think it was just, again, another added personalized touch that really made my website feel kind of unique for me, and just more of a passion project. But that's about it for this video. I really hope you all enjoyed it. And again, if you want to check out my website, it is Saaguco.store. Or if you'd like to purchase something cute, again, Saaguco.store. And yeah, let me know what you all think. So as far as the next video goes, I will maybe talk about how the launch went. And if you are curious, spoiler alert, the launch did end up pretty successful in my eyes. It's not like I got a ton of orders. I would say I got a pretty modest amount, about 15 for the weekend, but you all really showed up. And again, that is just more than I could have asked for. So the launch went pretty well, and all I want to do is just keep creating and producing things that you all will resonate with and enjoy. And yeah, see what the shop can kind of manifest into. It's kind of scary though, because I'm not gonna lie, once I released the shop, I was like, okay, now what? Oh my gosh, I finally finished this big project, but there's still more to do. I need to come up with new ideas. I need to come up with new products. So that's been a little overwhelming, I'm not gonna lie, but I mean, this is exactly what I wanted. So I'm just kind of charging through. But it's gonna be okay as long as I, maintain my wits about me, stay positive, and, yeah, just, you know, remember why I started this in the first place. So, well, that's it for today's video. If you made it this far, thank you so much. Like and subscribe if you would like to, you know, pressure. But yeah, and I will see you all in the next video. Bye.